On today's show, Lexus has a car that glows with the beat of your heart. Nokia's getting into the virtual reality game, but it's not a headset.
And Top Gear is finally making a comeback. Put the confetti graphic in the air.
Woo, it's Tomorrow Daily.
We don't have one.
Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm Ashley Skeva. As always, to my right, your left, Kill Anonymous.
Our budget is what, 26 cents an episode, and we can't afford the graphic for confetti?
You know, we had to put in for that for budgetary, and we got denied. Money's tight.
Well, I mean, there's still good news about the whole Top Gear thing, but it's tricky news, so I'm gonna have to explain it for you. Here's today's headlines.
Okay.
Top Gear is kind of back, but in a better fashion. This is great. Everyone's excited about this. It's great news all around. But as we all know, Top Gear had some controversy as they let go of one of their stars, and the whole show crumbled and fell apart. And BBC was like, "Ain't no more of this."
Jeremy Clarkson punched a producer. He called it a fracas, and then BBC was like, "Bye-bye," and then everybody lost their minds.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Well, so the show they kind of like everyone left the show and they're like, well, we're gonna make the show again, but with a completely different cast, and everyone was like, boo-erns, right? Well, guess what? Today, Amazon has announced that they are bringing the show back with the entire cast: Clarkson, Richard, Hammond, and James May. They're gonna be coming back as an Amazon show, basically the same premise, the whole cast.
Wow.
Yeah, and even one of the executive producers. They're all coming back to make pretty much the same show. It's gonna be coming back next year.
Okay.
And everyone rejoiced.
Yeah, people are pretty excited about this.
Yeah.
I know that as a host, I can't condone violence. I would never hit producer Logan unless he deserved it. And so no, I've never hit producer Logan. But that being said, I think a lot of people don't care about what Jeremy Clarkson does in his personal time, or like whatever choice he makes. They just want to see some Top Gear.
Anyway, yeah. So the crazy part is that not only did Amazon say they're going to bring it back, but they're going to bring it back for 3 seasons. They've already signed on for 3 seasons. There's a quote from one of the people. Clarkson has said, "I feel like I've climbed out of a biplane and onto a spaceship."
Oh, sick burn.
I'm.
Ouch.
What
BBC.
is that?
He
basically
referred to the BBC as a biplane, like an outdated
Amazon's
biplane.
Spaceship.
And
I've always
Amazon's a
had
spaceship.
faith in where Amazon intends to go and their potential as a platform, because Netflix has already kind of stayed their place, but there needs to be some sort of competition. Hulu ain't gonna do it. So and
trying.
Amazon has the power. They have the nominations with Transparent.
They do.
And they have the money to do this. But this is a huge opportunity for them to also open the gateway to new content, also start bringing back other shows. This is a big move, and a lot of people are excited. All Amazon has to do is fix their stupid player,
That's a really good
seems
point.
to be
Not great.
everybody's problem.
Yeah,
it's
everybody's
Hulu,
problem.
it's
all bad.
It's Yahoo. Everybody's player is just garbage.
This is a great way to bring people into Amazon Prime, by the way.
Yeah.
Really huge, sneaky, intelligent way to bring people in Amazon Prime. I wonder how much they paid. How much they give? How much money? Just trucks full of money. They have it delivered by drone, maybe. Just piles of money to these people, because I can't imagine they came over to Amazon cheaply.
Yeah, we already know that they were making a lot at BBC, having been around so long and negotiating and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll get a number sooner or later, but they signed on for 3 seasons.
Amazon has a lot of faith, and for good reason. I mean, it was BBC's #1 revenue-generating show for years. So.
Yeah, so we look forward to seeing what comes out of this. We look forward to seeing Amazon's content. Again, I'm not like trying to, butter up Amazon or nothing, because I mean, there's just a lot of work to be done there, as well as every other one of these hubs.
But good job.
Yeah, nice. We're just glad that the show's coming back.
Yeah, great pull.
So, again, next year you'll be able to see it. But that brings us to our hashtag of the day, which is TD Prime Gear.
I think that's what they should call the show.
Amazon Prime Gear?
Yeah, let's call it Prime Gear instead of Top Gear.
They can do that.
They can call it Prime Gear if they wanted to. Just saying.
Can they call it Top Gear 2 Gear 2 Top?
2 Gear, 2 Cantankerous. That's Jeremy Clarkson's part.
The show's
Cranky.
getting canceled. It's never be on
No,
Amazon.
it's so
So,
bad.
our question to you for TD Prime Gear is, How can this show differentiate itself from the BBC version? How are they gonna? Should they up the ante? Should
Yeah.
they change the format?
Maybe a new
What
segment.
would make it better? Yeah.
What would make it different or better or in some way? Because I have a feeling like the exact format of Top Gear, I don't know if they can. It might be there might be some sort of copyright on that or trademark on the format of the show. I know with like Writers Guild stuff here, if you submit, your Writers Guild stuff for a treatment of a show, that tends to be your intellectual property. So
Here's what I think they're gonna do.
I don't know.
I think they're gonna bring in celebrities. I know they've already
Okay.
brought in celebrities for Top Gear, but I think they're gonna try and up that. I know
Up
they
a
brought
level.
on like Aaron Paul. They bring on everyone to show off their cars and talk about their
Okay.
favorite cars. But I think Amazon's really gonna be trying to draw like new eyes to the show.
Gotcha.
And the best way to do that is celebrities.
I think
What do you think?
high tech.
Of course you were gonna say high
High-tech space vehicles. So I think they're going to put them in like, the Virgin Galactic has like their test flights and stuff. I think that they might put them in stuff like that and have them just try it and then explain what it's like.
So get them a little out of their comfort zone.
Yeah,
to
push
kind of,
them a little out of their comfort zone. I mean, listen, they're talking about going from a biplane to a spaceship. Why not just actually stick them in a spaceship?
I like this.
I'm just saying. Or maybe
Yeah.
put them through like astronaut training to get ready to be in a rocket or something like that. I think that would be awesome.
Top space gear.
Yeah, top
Okay,
space
cool.
gear.
So yeah, let us know what you think that they should add or where they think they may go.
Yeah.
Hashtag TD Prime Gear. But that brings us to our Ashley story of the day.
Yeah, it does. Actually, I was expecting you to talk about this because it's virtual reality, but then the Top Gear story broke, so I figured I would talk about it. Nokia. Like,
No,
it's pronounced very
it's
differently
Nokia,
everywhere.
It's not Nokia.
I've heard
you
it Nokia.
drunk.
Nokia overseas. So anyway,
Nokia.
they are okay. So when they got purchased by Microsoft, it wasn't the entire company. It was just the handset division. So
Okay.
they bought the phone part of Nokia, and then they said, okay, like you go away now. Like Microsoft's like, okay, bye bye. So Nokia's had to kind of figure out what they want to do next, and they have decided it is the Ozo. And here it is. This is the Ozo. It's a virtual reality camera. It's a capturing camera.
Yes.
It's a beautiful sphere. It looks amazing. It looks very sleek. It looks very interesting to me. And it's made for creators. They had an entertainment industry event earlier this week, which can I just really briefly say, Nokia, thank you for not inviting us because we're right here in LA and you could have called and you didn't. I'm just really sad about that.
They invited me.
Well, I
They
know.
said don't bring that esquila.
They said don't bring that quesadilla with you. So so this has 8 cameras. That's what it looks like.
Right, that's standard.
Looks cool. They're all synchronized global shutter sensors, 8 integrated microphones, full stereoscopic 3D video. They're saying the recorded content can be published to VR headsets. That's the goal. They want you to be able to publish directly to different VR headsets, commercial ones. No pricing yet, but they said this will be available this fall, so in time for the Vive. So
That's incredible.
They want it out before all of the retail headsets start coming to market, which I thought was a really good strategy. And it's apparently not aimed at the consumer market. So this is like prosumers and professionals.
Well, yeah, right out of the gate, any sort of
That's what
high
you're gonna want
brand new
anyway.
tech, it's just going to be for prosumers.
Right.
But I got to say, the sleekness of this is great. I mean, you
It
think about
looks
GoPro,
really
that was the
nice.
first one to kind of look
Right.
really sexy and easy to use. And so I think
They're kind of going for the same
we
thing.
need to know that price.
I know, yeah. And
We need to know that
So
price.
GoPro has a 6-camera rig that they're bringing to market at some point. But if you do the math on it, let's even say it's one of the less expensive ones, you're still looking at like a couple grand.
Yeah.
Like after all said and done, like if you have 6 cameras and you get the $400 ones, that's $2,400 just for the cameras, the cost of the cameras. Then you got to add in the cost of the rig and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those. This is going to be a race, just like
Yeah.
with
Big
the
time.
headsets. Whoever gets it, whoever nails it first, just like with GoPro nailing that sort of like crazy camera type thing,
Yep.
they're gonna win.
Small size, small
Good job,
price.
Nokia, though. It looks really,
looks
really nice.
really nice.
It is important, however, because their GoPro one, it also came with like a stitching software too. So
Yes.
it's.
Well, I think Nokia is saying they want to do something very similar, where you're going to be able to literally just like import this footage and then publish it directly after capturing it. You'll be able to publish it directly to a
cool.
headset manufacturer. So, for what that's worth, very interesting stuff happening over at Nokia.
Cool announcement, yeah.
I wonder how much it's going to cost. Who knows?
Take a guess.
I'm going to say $14.99.
Yeah, if they're saying prosumer, it's got to be
If it's
over $1,000.
prosumer, I'd say $14.99. depending on what resolution it shoots in.
Yeah.
If it shoots in 4K, I'm going to say $19.99.
Yeah, camera buffs, let us know what you think on that one.
Yeah, I'd say $19.99. If it shoots in 4K, probably around there. If it's prosumer. If it's straight up industry professionals only, then that camera's going to be like
also camera buffs,
$2,500, $3,000.
Also camera buffs, are you interested in a 360? Are you
Yeah.
ready to dive into that? I know I am, and I'm not even a camera buff.
Yeah,
you
no,
are a
me
camera
too.
buff.
I want one. Like, I'd
I
love
think
to
that
have
really
a little
taps
rig.
into some creativity
Yeah.
of the camera buffs. Also, for the record, this isn't alcohol; it's green tea.
He's lying.
From Trader Joe's.
All right, let's talk about, you don't want to drink and drive your green tea, but I'm going to tell you about some car stuff. This really briefly is a really awesome promotional idea from Lexus, but it is not going to be coming to a car near you, at least not for now. So this is a modded car that has been redesigned to light up and pulsate to the heartbeat synchronized with the heartbeat of the driver. So after the car hits 100 miles per hour, then you get to see, like, so yeah, they have these chest bands that measure their heart rate, and it's all synced up.
Oh, that's cool.
And so he gets in the car, and as soon as it hits 100 miles an hour, like all of these drivers, men and women, that you can see their heart rate as it flies down the road, which is pretty awesome.
But you have to go 100 miles per hour?
I think that's when it starts, because that they want to see like how cool you are under pressure. Like it's like, okay, like how cool are you under pressure? You hit 100 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden we're gonna see what your heart rate's like. Because really, if you're driving at like 55, it's a boring heart rate. You're not gonna have an exciting heart rate.
So this is obviously just to show off the Lexus, because it's not gonna be street legal.
Of
in
course.
any way,
So
shape,
there
or
it is,
form.
activated. Boom, car lights up. That's his heart rate. That's the heart rate of the
That is
driver.
so cool. As a fan of Tron, that's super cool.
This is, if this is not in Fast and the Furious 8, like I just want to make this abundantly clear. This is a huge opportunity missed by everybody involved if it's not in Fast and Furious 8.
Cool.
So this is, the one thing I like about this is it's interesting how we're kind of using biometrics in really fun, creative ways. So like her heart was racing really fast right there. It's 183 beats per minute. That's a lot. She was jacked up. She was intense. So yeah, and then it just slows down, and the heart rate slows down, and then they get out.
That's
Isn't
great.
that awesome?
Who's our car guy at CNET?
Well, there's a few. There's Brian Cooley, Tim Stevens. There's a few car guys that seen it.
I'd love to throw one of those guys in there.
That would be amazing. I would love to see that. I just threw motorcycle limbo at Tim Stevens because he rides motorcycles, and he rides like Ducatis and stuff. And it's actual, like you're on a like fast motorcycle, and they set a bar low, and you have to slide underneath it.
That sounds terrible.
It looks terrifying. I would never do it, but people are really into it. Motorcycle limbo. Look that up on the internet. You're welcome. So yeah, will we see things like this in the future? We're going to see like wearable tech. We've seen kind of fashion stuff tap into biometrics. We saw the spider dress. We've seen the proximity, the kind of different proximity sensors, things like that. So really cool stuff. And on that note, we're done with headlines. We're going to be right back. It's Thursday. We're going to tell you what we're into, and then we're going to talk about your user feedback. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. We've returned. It's Thursday, and even though this is the episode traditionally where the rails come off of the show, we still like to talk about things that we like, so this is Into It. Kale, I think what you have listed is something that I thought you had seen, but you just saw it.
Okay, you can't make that assumption, and I'll tell you why once I get a little further into it.
Right.
Besides being into blueberry green tea from Trader Joe's, I am again trying to make sure that
I'm gonna make you put that in a paper bag next time.
that the overlords of CNET are fully aware of that.
He's not drinking on the job, I can assure you.
I wouldn't even be able to words talk. But I'm into it this week. I just watched it last night, which is the Europa Report, which is available on Netflix. That's why I wanted to bring it up. You can go watch this right now. It is about a group of scientists that find out, this is based around the 2011 announcement that there was like water potentially on Europa. They fly, which is one of the, Jupiter's moons. So they fly all the way out to Europa, and they're there to investigate the water and see if there's any life in there. Well, it's not just a fun little documentary, it's actually a suspense movie about like all the dangers of having to go to an unknown planet and landing in the wrong place, and things are going wrong, and spoiler, people die.
People don't make it.
People die. I'm not going to say anything beyond that, but the suspense builds more and more and more and more and more and more, and like I was watching it before bed and had a hard time going to sleep.
Was your bed like lighting up like the Lexus? Your heart was racing really fast?
Couldn't go to sleep, it was strobing. But it's fantastic. If you're into, because there's a lot of science jargon, it doesn't like veer off to super duper fiction. It stays pretty accurate. They talk about radiation, they talk about just everything. Like oxygen, it's very realistic and well,
realistic
all things
enough.
considered.
Realistic enough.
Yeah. I didn't like the ending, but everything else was fantastic. And now here's why I say you can't assume that I've seen it.
Okay.
Movie cost $10 million to make. It looks fantastic.
Very true.
It looks great. There's great acting. $10 million to make. Made $200,000.
Yeah, which is just a shame. Like, let's all talk about what a shame that is, because I saw it the very first weekend it was out. I bought it. We bought it. I was like, I gotta see this movie. And I loved it. It was a year ago. And it was out on demand, and they released it all. They didn't even do a theatrical release. I think, and if it was very limited, and you could just get it video on demand. Like that was it. And for most places, that was the only way you could see the movie, and it was so good. And you're right, there is a lot of research, scientific research that went into this movie, where the space travel part of it is very good and very well done. But I loved Sharlto Copley in this movie. Is fantastic.
Sharlto Copley.
He's delightful. King Stefan from Maleficent. Also, I don't want to give away the ending of District 9, but he's in District 9. Like, see that if you haven't seen that.
Go check this out.
It's great.
It's again, it's on Netflix, so I wanted to pick something that people could access. I try and pick something that people will be able to grab. Let me know if you watch it. Tweet at me. Let me know what you think, because last time I did, sorry I tapped the mic. Last time I did Humans, and a bunch of people hit me up and were like, thank God, thank you so much, it's been great. I want to keep doing this stuff. And if you have suggestions for me on Netflix or television,
Kel's always looking for new stuff.
I just got to have something new all the time. So that's mine. I want to know what Ashley's is, because she always picks something good too.
Well, it's also on Netflix. So conveniently, and I know you're going to be watching this weekend. It's Wet Hot American Summer. First day of
that's
camp.
right. It's finally coming out.
Tomorrow, Wet Hot American Summer. Finally, Netflix decided to make a TV show based on the hit film, which is so funny. It's not really a hit film. It's like a cult film. It's a cult film. Back to Camp Firewood. This is a prequel to the film, which is hilarious. This looks to be just as funny, if not more. They all play younger versions of themselves 14 years after the original movie aired, which I find hilarious.
This is the best. Watch.
Paul Rudd's entrance here, just dumps a motorcycle on the ground, and he's like, hey. H. John Benjamin is there. There are so many stars. You can see Amy Poehler, Bradley Cooper. You got Elizabeth Banks, Christopher Maloney, Janine Garofalo. And then newbies, too. They got Chris Pine. They've got John Hamm. They also have Kirsten Wiig. It's the original director and the original screenwriter are working on this show. So this is all of the same people came back for this. And from what I have seen from the reviews who have seen an advanced version of it, everybody loves it. It's so funny, and it's great, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and if you're completely unfamiliar with the show,
please watch the
movie's
movie.
Also on Netflix.
Yes, watch the movie first.
It is a cult classic, so it's one of those kind of like really fun. And Paul Rudd, my God.
Hilarious.
If you didn't already love Paul Rudd, this is your Paul Rudd. Yeah. This is your Paul Rudd access point.
Ken Marino, this is a great Ken Marino access point, who is a very funny character actor. Just hilarious.
How much do you love Wet Hot American Summer, Logan?
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
That's the Logan seal of approval. Run the graphic.
Logan, seal of approval. We don't have that graphic yet.
That's right.
Also not approved
budget.
in the budget. Yeah, also not approved in the budget.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's what we're into. Let's talk about what you're into. It's time for user feedback. We got a couple of really good responses about TD Henry. So the virtual reality Oculus Story Studio short film Henry was debuted.
What was the question?
And we asked, what would the plot of your VR blockbuster be?
Oh, yeah, you have to pick a VR blockbuster.
And you guys came up with some good ones. So Will wrote in and said, another Slender game with some Turtle Beach headphones to add to the fear. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like you, Will.
Terrifying.
You lost my vote.
And Corey wrote in and said, a mystery where you have to look around and watch the whole scene to understand the plot.
Now, Ashley likes that idea.
I like the idea of having a mystery movie where you can only unlock the ending if you can actually solve the puzzle.
Oh, that sounds infuriating.
So, like, you're Columbo or whatever, Matlock.
Bad choices, but yeah, I got
Castle. Can we do a new one?
all right.
Sherlock Holmes.
Professor Layton.
For sure, yeah, why not?
Sure, yeah.
And you have to solve the mystery, and if
Batman?
you can't, you just never see the end. Like you get a bad ending, and they're like, "No, you're wrong." Like, sorry, pal.
Oh, that's infuriating. All right.
Saying, you gotta figure it out.
All right. Yeah.
And
okay.
then Pin did write in. He wrote an email. Attach the screenplay. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, thank God. Here we go.
No. He said, "Hi, Ashley Go. It's a little longer than what you see on the screen." He said, "This suggestion's once again probably too long to read on air, but it's too good not to share. Murder mystery in VR. Be immersed in the scene as the plot progresses. The viewer can pause the movie at any time to examine the crime scene. 2 modes, with and without characters present. When the movie's paused, the viewer can also choose to interview any of the characters at the scene. Character interview would utilize the same tech as Cortana or Siri, except it would do its search within a wiki for the story and filter for what the interviewed character knows or thinks he or she knows."
What are you reading from? That's
This is the full
graphic.
email.
Okay.
I like to shorten it because otherwise it's just a little tiny wall of text that no one can read. So then he said the script would be structured like the Law & Order TV series. First half procedural, second half is legal drama, second half the viewer can choose to be part of prosecution or defense.
I'm going to go ahead and interject that this was already done with that Rockstar game. What was it called? Logan? What was that Rockstar game called?
Bully, right?
No.
No, it was...
LA Noire?
LA Noire. LA Noire pretty much already did this.
Yeah.
So if you did LA Noire in VR, which
That
would
would
be
be
great because you have to
amazing.
read their faces. Do you
Facial
remember?
expressions, yeah. Listen
LA,
to their...
Basically, LA Noire in VR, I love that idea.
would be pretty
That is so
amazing.
good. But Penn added that you'd also have to go to court.
Go prosecute
too.
them. Yeah. That's
Jeez.
the one different thing about LA
Super
Noire.
intense. But
Super
yeah,
intense.
thanks as always, Penn. Penn's
Yeah, I
got
love
some
that.
good solid answers.
All right, guys, time for our very last piece of user feedback is our photographer of the day. I was thinking about the cover for Bully, and for some reason
It's a
maybe
school.
because I really want to prosecute
school
those
logo.
jerk children, little jerk children, all
You
the
played
time.
the game in a different way than everybody else did.
I always do. All right, John wrote in, our photographer of the day, and he says, "Here's a picture from my Motorola Droid Max for my weekend getaway for 4th of July holiday. This is the view from the porch of the Smoky Mountains near Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee."
Is this where he lives?
That can't be real. That's wrong.
Is this where he lives?
He lives on Pandora in Avatar.
Is this where he lives?
I'm assuming so.
Is that
no,
what
he
it
said
said
it's a
in the email?
getaway. He said he came here for 4th of July weekend. How did you even find this place? There's no roads. How did you get there? He walked. It's a secret cabin in the middle of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yeah, this one, okay. That's it. I've had it. This one is like the breaking point for me. I didn't get to experience anything like that. I'm done. I'm leaving right now.
Kills.
I can't.
Infuriated. He's out. All right, guys. That's it for the show. John, thank you so much. You want to submit your photography? You can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. You can always find us on social media. We're Tomorrow Daily over on Twitter. I'm at Ashley Esqueda. Kill's at Kill Anonymous. Super easy to find us. Send a friend to the show, tomorrowdaily.com. And always, if you're on Reddit, if you're a lurker or whatever, go check out our subreddit. It's our Tomorrow Daily. So anyway, that's it for the show, guys. Have a great weekend. Kill's out of here. We'll see you on Monday. Be good humans. Bye.